So this is a follow-up to my video yesterday when I was discussing about I'm finished with this kind of teaching and this kind of tutoring and whatever on YouTube regarding my Ableton tutorials. Loads of comments. I think it's the most amount of comments I've ever had on a video in such a short space of time. And a lot of it is, well, nearly, in fact, all of it is supportive, and I appreciate that. And it's given me some food for thought, and also given me some tips and ideas and stuff. One of the ones that really plagues me, I want to get this out of the way first, is the fact that people are obsessed with the aesthetic. Like, a lot of the videos I've loaded up this week, in the last week, are of an old course, right? And people think I'm still working on version 9 when I'm not. It's just a course I made 10 years ago, and I'm uploading it for free because I'm giving it away now. And I thought, well, why waste it and just let it sit in the hard drive, put it on YouTube and give it away? Because the information on there is still valid and valuable. It's got a lot to offer. It's an 80s funk course. Anyway, that aside, people obsessed with when they say, oh, there's the lighting and the room and the mood of the room and stuff. Well, I don't personally think anything's particularly wrong with the mood of the room. You've got cultural posters on the wall, framed, very musically cultural posters. But and then you've got synth and you've got the decks you can just about see. But, it's kind of got me thinking, like, do people actually buy into the room's got to be a darkened studio with, like, lots of little neon lights and stuff, which I see on other YouTubers, which is nice and it looks good. But you're not there to look at people's aesthetics, people's decorations. You're there to, it helps by reading a person. Like, you look at that behind me and you know that I'm about funk and acid house and techno and disco and stuff. You can get that from the art on the walls. But you don't go to university to sit in a lecture theatre, to listen to a professor or a tutor and be more interested in what's on the wall, are you? You're listening to the professor and his knowledge and his wisdom and teaching is what he's showing you. I'm not a professor, but you see what I mean? You don't go to university to sit and go, oh, God, look at them lights. They're gorgeous, aren't they? Oh, sorry, professor, what are you on about? It doesn't so that whole thing for me, I just find it absolutely bizarre that people spend more input, more investment as a viewer, not the person making the video, because decorate your room however, that's great. But as a viewer, that they're more interested in what's behind them rather than what the person is trying to teach them and pass on to them. I get it, but I don't get it. I just find it really odd. But more positive, that's that out of the way. I've got that out of the way, done. So, more things like, do more track source style house breakdowns, how to achieve that sort of sound and tightness. So when you say track source house, you mean the top 100. So that kind of sort of chunky, sort of funky house, piano, soulful house, deep house, disco house, whatever. I get what you mean with that. I can do some sort of stuff like that, I suppose. So yeah, I could do some of that sort of stuff. Interviewing other producers. I did a Victor Simonelli one recently, and not many people saw that again. And that was a good podcast. I'm going to be doing another one with a very, very successful producer, friend of mine, who was generally in the Track Source top 10 quite a lot these days, or for the last 10-15 years he has been. So I'm going to be interviewing him next couple of weeks, so that's cool. So I'm going to be doing more of that, I suppose, more talking to other producers, etc. People are like, don't stop doing your videos and all this kind of thing. I'm like, yep, I know, I'm not stopping it, I'm just at a brick wall. I wanted to reiterate that I'm not crying going, oh. I'm just frustrated by the amount of time that I put into it and all the years I've done it, and it's just kind of like I'm kind of questioning, have people that I initially taught moved on, given up, quit, and then but they've never unsubscribed. And because music, let's face it, music production is something that we do as a hobby, most of us now. It's very difficult to maintain a career out of it as a producer, DJ, etc. And one of the comments from a friend on here said that. He says it's, a lot of us work and a lot of us do this as a part-time hobby, so we don't always catch up. And I understand that. But as I say, you should be getting at least 10% of your followers hitting the views. But nevertheless, the content that I provide is obviously valued by a lot of people because I'm seeing a load of really good comments here, should I say. Which is very encouraging. So yeah, there's one here asking for rave track tutorials. I've already done one. I've posted it on there. So I've covered that ground already, which is really easy to do, the rave stuff. Just get rave generator synth, the VST, and away you go. you know, Deep House, Garage House, you know, another one here. I use an older version of Ableton. I have uploaded an older version, as I've said, but no, I'm on version 11 and I'm close to buying version 12 at the moment. You know, but yeah, the comments are really supportive. Don't give up doing what you do. We love what you do. It's great. Do some plugin reviews, gear reviews. I have done that sort of thing before, where I've got a plugin and I've made a track out of that one plugin. I'm quite big on don't have loads of plugins. You know, make sure you use 2 or 3 and just stick to those, and then you'll get more done. Because when you start scrolling through 1,000 different presets for a bass line, you know, you're gonna get overwhelmed and bored. So I'm quite into that whole micro, narrow it down. So yeah, but I could do a few more synth. I've got loads of VSTs that I could do reviews of, and make a track out of. Yes, disco house is very niche. So a lot of people have said that. It's probably because your stuff is niche. I get it. I could branch off and do more pop disco. Someone mentioned me doing a little bit more disco stroke pop tutorials, which is popular. Someone said on the comment, and I can understand that. I mean, obviously, every record in the pop charts almost is a dance track, isn't it, of some sort? If it's not house, it's a house beat, you know. So I could do some stuff like that. But yeah, overall, I think I'm just thanking everyone for the comments. Really, it's encouraging for me to keep going. But yeah, I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna put out a couple of videos in the next few days. So yeah, that's all I wanted to do, was just thank you guys for the comments, and that's it. And I'll see you in another video. Take care.